Atlanta police are searching for the gunman who shot 4 people in a luxury Midtown apartment building.
The 4 men are being treated at Grady while investigators work to figure out who pulled the trigger just before midnight in the heart of Midtown. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us with more on what people who live there in the area have to say. Angelique.
Well, good evening to you both. Midtown is a popular part of town, really kind of like a place to be. But we talked to one resident who lives here at 903 Peachtree who says he is fed up and ready to move away from this location.
That's crazy. I mean, I lived here for a little over a year. First time I've heard of any kind of violence like that.
The walkable and urban Midtown Atlanta community is stunned after Atlanta police say 4 men were shot in one of the luxury apartments at 903 Peachtree Street. But once we talked to some residents who live inside the gorgeous high-rise, allegations of safety cracks started to show.
It's horrible. It's unfortunate for for those who got shot, but I feel like this situation was bound to happen.
This 2-year resident who didn't want to show his face says things started deteriorating in 2024.
You could see the change in the community over the years. I overhear people talking about how easy it was to get in.
Atlanta police say they found 3 men shot and a large quantity of narcotics out in the open.
It's credible to believe that this is highly narcotics related. There's a large quantity of drugs inside. We don't know what transpired before.
A 4th man drove himself to the hospital. With all the recent allegations of security problems, one resident says he wants out.
This is getting out of hand. I will not be renewing my lease.
Am I shocked about this? This happened in Midtown Atlanta. Not shocked by it. Am I shocked that this type of place is advertising themselves as a luxury apartment doesn't have a way to keep people from being able to just easily get in and out of this place? Yeah, I'm very shocked at that. Because if you're advertising yourself as luxury and you're trying to get a certain type of resident up in there, a resident who can afford to pay luxury prices that you're going to put on this residence, they want to also make sure that they're able to be secure and that any and everybody can't just get in and out of this place. So, and then, they said they found a large quantity of drugs in there. So, of course, it was something dealing with drugs if you found a large quantity of drugs. And, a lot of times, man, people aren't going to want to go and do deals like that in places where it's normal or it's easy to guess that you can do a deal in this place. They're going to want to go somewhere where it's like a luxury place, somewhere they feel like, man, they're not going to have too many eyes on them, even though a lot of that stuff, as I was saying, they were showing some surveillance footage. It's going to be on camera, but they want to go somewhere to where they know like law enforcement isn't typically going to be looking for this type of thing to be happening. So, and for a shot, because anytime you're dealing with something like that, street level activity, it's always that risk of things going bad. Either, people who have the drugs may want to rob the people with the money to get the money, or people who have the money may want to rob the people with the drugs so they can have their money and get the drugs. So, it all comes down to that. I don't think there'll be a follow-up to this story unless they're going to release the identities of the victims and stuff like that. But again, the police are searching for the gunman. So, maybe they got a glimpse of who it is on camera and was able to get a picture of their license plate that they drove off, or, some type of identifying factor. But as the one resident was saying, this type of stuff started happening in 2024. Man, I believe it was happening before then. That's just when he really started noticing it. And as guys who are working themselves into the streets are getting younger and younger, that's I guess that's how, because everyone is not able to pass down, the information to the next because they're either going to be dead or they're going to be in jail. So then you get a whole new generation of people who are going to come into the streets and they're going to do stuff the way that they want to do it because they haven't really been shown the way. And so they're going to get out here and they're going to do what they feel they have to do. And a lot of it is, it's no guide to it. It's no handbook to it. So, you know, and this could be some people who live up in this place who allowed them to come in there. Because we do know that, if you're out there getting money and stuff like that, you should be able to afford a place like this. Only thing you may have to do is just falsify some documentation showing how you earn your income, and they're gonna let you right on in there as long as you can pay the rent. So, am I shocked that this happened? No, not at all. Not shocked at all. And again, I feel like a lot of people use places that are of this ilk or of this caliber to try to conceal what they're doing. Because again, police are more than likely looking for this type of stuff to happen in certain other areas, not necessarily Midtown Atlanta. But stuff like this is going on around everywhere. But let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think that the resident that said he was gonna move is actually gonna move? I'm leaning towards he could, but if this is a like a one-off incident, if this doesn't really happen too often, he may not. He may not. But so let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think on my take as far as like the next generation or the newer generation of guys that are out there in the streets or out there drug dealing. They didn't learn what they learned from watching others. They just jumped out there because they felt like that was the thing to do. Let me know what you guys think about that take. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.